For years, buying a new iPhone came with a simple, reliable guarantee. You bought the device, and your phone would receive every major software update and run exactly like the newest models for 5 to 7 years. But the sudden rollout of Apple Intelligence has shattered that expectation completely. We are now looking at a hard dividing line, where future software updates are permanently locked behind specific hardware limits. If you look back at the marketing for the iPhone 15, Apple pushed a massive wave of promised AI capabilities, yet a month after launch, there was nothing. That promise was pushed back to a few small updates, with the core Siri upgrades delayed until the following spring. This lack of follow-through has already hit Apple's bottom line. The company recently settled a $250 million lawsuit centered on false advertising and a failure to deliver on promised capabilities, the same tension points now defining the Apple Intelligence launch. Now, they have introduced a core dilemma. Accessing this new software ecosystem has nothing to do with what year you bought your phone. It is tied strictly to the internal specs of the hardware itself. This creates massive consumer confusion. You have marketing campaigns hyping up an AI-powered future, while millions of people holding phones they bought less than 2 years ago find out their device won't even load the application. We are going to cut through that marketing hype right now. We will build an objective roadmap showing exactly which phones get what features and why. The basic math of owning an iPhone has shifted. Millions of perfectly good modern phones are now instantly locked out of the next generation of software. This entire dividing line comes down to a single physical component inside your phone, random access memory, or RAM. To process AI requests securely on your phone without beaming your personal data to an external cloud server, the system needs massive amounts of local memory to hold and calculate that data in real time. This chart highlights the strict bottleneck. Apple has established an absolute minimum requirement of 8 gigabytes of RAM to run Apple Intelligence. As you can see, the base iPhone 15 maxes out at 6. If you look at the standard models released over the last few years, the phones the vast majority of consumers actually buy, they fall entirely short of that 8 gigabyte threshold. Apple prioritized equipping their standard phones with lower RAM to save on manufacturing costs. That financial choice is the direct cause of the hardware gate we are seeing today. Sticking with a lower-tier device now creates a much higher penalty than it did in the past. You are accepting a permanent hardware ceiling that will bar you from every major AI feature Apple releases moving forward. This matrix breaks the hardware gate down into 3 distinct tiers to evaluate which phones receive Apple Intelligence. The first column is the under 8 gigabytes tier. If you own a base iPhone 15, 14, or 13, your device falls in this category. Because these devices lack the necessary physical memory, they will receive absolutely zero Apple Intelligence features. The trade-off here is straightforward. You save money by not upgrading, but your software experience is permanently frozen in a pre-AI state. Next is the middle tier for devices possessing exactly 8 gigabytes of RAM. Right now, that applies to the iPhone 15 Pro and the base iPhone 16 models. If you fall into this tier, you get a limited feature set. You will be able to use basic text modification tools and Siri 2.0 with new, more natural voices. However, 8 gigabytes cannot handle complex AI requests locally. To make this tier work, Apple is paying a reported $1 billion a year for an outsourced partnership with Google, using Gemini to process your advanced requests in the cloud. Buying an 8 gigabyte phone right now means you are buying a stopgap device. As AI tools inevitably demand more local processing power, these phones will hit a performance wall quickly. This final column maps out the advanced tier. This covers devices boasting 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is what we expect to see standard in the upcoming Pro lines. The distinct advantage of this tier is true on-device capability. You have the hardware bandwidth to run advanced, rapid AI generation completely locally, without ever pinging Google servers. But there is an economic trade-off. RAM is highly expensive to manufacture right now, meaning that as 12 gigabytes becomes the baseline, we will likely see a noticeable price increase for future iPhones. You have to weigh the high financial cost of a Pro model against the reality of the software itself. Historically, first-generation AI features are unrefined and buggy. Paying the massive premium for a Pro model today, essentially forces you to fund and beta test Apple's Generation 1 software experiments. We can translate all this hardware data into an actionable decision tree, breaking down 3 specific types of buyers. First is the casual owner. If generating text and using an advanced Siri are not essential to your workflow, there is absolutely no reason to panic upgrade. Your older models will continue to function perfectly as traditional, highly capable smartphones for years to come. Second is the budget upgrader. If you are looking at buying a base model iPhone 16 or 17 right now, understand the risks. Buying a base model today saves you money upfront, but it guarantees your device will hit a predefined capability ceiling far sooner than older phones ever did. Finally, we have the tech optimizer. If you want long-term AI capabilities, waiting for the iPhone 18 is the mathematically smartest move. Waiting ensures the 12GB RAM standard will be natively integrated across the board, completely bypassing the beta tester tax attached to current Pro models. In this new hardware-locked era, ignoring the marketing hype and matching your upgrade timeline strictly to your true RAM requirements is the only way to avoid Apple's obsolescence trap.